You ever notice how the ones who move on the fastest are the ones who end up living rent-free in your head? It's not the ones constantly reaching out, posting stories, or making noise. It's the quiet ones, the ones who vanish, evolve, and somehow become more attractive in their absence. That's what really gets you. Not the silence, but the transformation. It's the same when roles are reversed. A woman doesn't start missing you because you stopped texting. She starts missing you when your presence shifts. When she starts to feel the absence of the energy you once brought into her life. The calm, the presence, the emotional depth, something inside her begins to shift. Because missing someone isn't about physical absence. It's about emotional resonance. She doesn't crave you because you went silent. She craves you when she realizes she can no longer access what she used to take for granted. Here's what men don't understand. Disappearing to provoke a reaction isn't powerful. Evolving so deeply that you no longer seek a reaction, that's power. That's when everything starts to change. You stop reaching, stop chasing, stop explaining yourself. You let your evolution speak for itself. You stop writing paragraphs she'll never read and start living a life she can't ignore. You don't announce your growth. You embody it. And the more you level up without broadcasting it, the more undeniable you become. She notices. Even if she pretends she doesn't, she feels it. Women are emotionally intuitive. They feel the shift long before they see it. They notice the energy that used to be theirs slowly fade. And that's what gets in their heads, the contrast between who you were and who you're becoming. You didn't need her to validate your growth. You just moved in silence, and your silence carried weight. The biggest mistake most men make is giving away their power the second a woman pulls back. They panic. They obsess. They start spiraling in their thoughts, wondering what went wrong, who she's talking to, what she's thinking. And just like that, they shift from being grounded to being reactive. But you don't gain anything from chasing energy that's no longer being offered. You gain power by shifting your focus inward, on your path, your peace, your progression. When you stop chasing what's pulling away and instead start building what's in front of you, you become magnetic. You stop orbiting around her and start building your own gravity. You don't need to disappear to make a statement. You don't need to ghost or cut ties dramatically. Stay in the room. Be present. But shift your energy so completely that she feels your absence even when you're standing 10 feet away. You're not bitter. You're just centered. You're not cold. You're composed. She talks, you listen, but she knows the attention that used to be hers is now somewhere else. That's what hits different. That's what lingers. Most men think blocking her, deleting texts, or going no contact is freedom. But if she still owns real estate in your head, if you're still replaying old conversations at night, you're not free. You're pretending. Real detachment doesn't come from deleting her number. It comes from cutting the invisible strings. The emotional hooks. The thoughts that keep circling back. When you no longer feel the urge to check her story, not because you're resisting it, but because you genuinely don't care anymore, that's when you win. Not out of spite. Out of peace. There's a difference between being unavailable and being unreachable. Anyone can ignore a message. Anyone can stay silent. But when your mindset, your lifestyle, your energy evolves so deeply that she can no longer reach who you've become, that's a whole different level. She might still have your contact, but the version of you she knew, he doesn't live there anymore. You didn't pull away to get her attention. You pulled away because the old version of you had no place in the life you're building. And that's when she starts feeling it. Not when you go missing, but when you stop showing up as the man who once needed her validation. You're still visible, but you're unreachable. That's when she starts questioning everything. Starts comparing everyone else to you. Because what you offered, your depth, your grounded energy, your quiet confidence, isn't easy to replicate. You don't have to move on by finding someone new. You move up by evolving into someone new. The kind of man who doesn't beg for attention, but commands respect. The kind of man who doesn't chase closure, because he's too busy building doors to bigger opportunities. You're not trying to replace her. You're replacing the version of you that's settled. And in doing so, you become untouchable. This isn't about playing games. It's about transformation. Most guys think silence alone will do the job, but silence without substance is just noise. It's not powerful unless there's progress behind it. The only reason your absence carries weight is because your presence carried meaning. And if you're growing, truly growing, she'll feel that shift long before she hears it. You won't have to tell her you're better. She'll see it. She'll feel it in the way you walk, the way you speak, the way you no longer react to the same things that once triggered you. You become the man she replays in her mind. Not because you vanished, but because you evolved. And the version she misses no longer exists. He became something more. Someone bigger. Someone bolder. Someone who realized that chasing doesn't create value, standing still in your power does. So let her feel that. Let her watch you move differently. Let her sense the peace she can no longer disrupt. Because in a world full of men who crumble under pressure, who fold for attention, who over-explain and over-text, you become the exception. You become the standard. Not because you tried to be, but because you stopped trying altogether. And in that stillness, in that focused energy, in that quiet confidence, you win. Not because she came back, but because you stopped needing her to.